No one likes predictions, but we're going to do it anyway because I want to get the crowd involved. So, Lighters, who are you backing and why should the crowd back them?
Can I make 2 predictions?
No.
That's not a prediction. That's sitting on the middle of the fence, my friend.
Okay, today Africa wins in general, but I'm going to go for Algeria 3-2 win over Bravado.
That was what he said yesterday.
Ooh, 15AvgGang. You're going with the North Africans. Okay, there we go. HazE?
Sam, can we get your prediction, or is that just...
Yeah, I'll give you my prediction.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go 3-1 Bravado.
Okay, so we've got 15AvgGang. We've got Bravado. My prediction is... we'll get to see some epic
I knew it. Yeah.
That's my job. I never ever. I support whoever wins. That's how we're going.
Classic.
That's not fair, right? Actually, I'm going to call it. You know what? I'm going to make a prediction. This is unheard of.
Okay, let's go.
I actually think 15AvgGang is going to take it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Look at these two.
I'm in the North African squad. Sorry to the boys in blue. They tried to bribe me earlier and gave me a Bravado shirt. But I'm keeping the shirts, but I'm still going with my prediction.
So the one guy who predicted them to win is the one who doesn't have a shirt, is what you're saying. I see you, Andreas. I see you.
There we go. This is all about us now, the free stuff we got. So there we go. This is it. Intel Africa Masters, $30,000 prize pool. The best Counter-Strike, not just in South Africa, but in Africa, going down right now at the Rage Expo 2022. If you're watching at home on Twitch, make sure you spam your favorite team in the chat. We are getting ready to go into game. It is Dust 2. Let the action begin. Or not, because I like to make sure that you have to wait all the time. You got to build the crowd up a little bit.
Let's make some
noise. There's a lot of
noise.
money on the line. We want to hype the players, get the energy. There we go. Lighters is having a little bit of fun. I mean, it's always fun for me that the players, they've done this to me the whole weekend. I feel like it's a troll. Every time, production, the players are like, we're ready, and production goes, okay, off we go. Because a lot of people don't know, I've got someone talking in my ear the whole time. Yeah. And then as I say, the players start giggling, and that's the end of it, right?
Yeah, 100%. But I think there's still more information to get through in terms of the future, but now the players actually are ready. They want to throw us in the game. I had so much more to say, but let the server talk for itself. Let the server speak volumes.
As you said, here we go, into the server.
All right, man, it's Championship Sunday. The stars of the morning were gloriously bright as we head on to Dust 2, the platform, the playing ground, and the map. That's going to kick off. Grand final, okay. Some aggressive stances all around by the BVD boys.
Oh, Slowy. Wipeout takes first contact shot towards short. That baits the Sheriff into the angle. That's a triple kill coming through from Slowy. Make that a quad, baby. What a way to kick off the grand final. The captain himself.
Locking them all up in jail. One player remaining. Razio, no bomb in sight. He woke up this morning wanting to make this world a better place, but not like this. Right, gets a trade, pulls it back. There's 4 more obstacles to get through, Matt.
Yeah, Bravado need to be careful here not to offer him up too many unnecessary fights. Job's pretty much done, and Slowy
gets the ace!
Locks in the ace.
Woo!
Way to announce his presence here on the server.
Full house of cards indeed. What a way to start off this grand final. What a way as the captain stands tall. BMT at its highest peak.
Absolutely, and it was actually a really nice basic play. Wipeout just taking the attention towards short with the first contact. Slowy goes completely unchecked there with the Julies, able to reign supreme. Eco round now for the T side. Tools again, a little bit of an overinvestment though from them. We saw this from them yesterday, and it set them back around on overpass, and they lost that map 16-14.
We need an intimate discussion with them as to why, because I need reasons, I need logic. Long being contested by Reskov. Flashbang, beautiful teamwork coming out, and that's already relegated to the spectator seat, just like the rest of us. Blaze, bits and pieces of damage, but he's happy about that. Looking to set the pace. Bull's going to get one of his own in the MP9. Remember, nets you more cash than General Rifle. Pulls out the pistol. Composed as ever. Second round on the board. Bravado on a hot streak, hot start, flaming.
Absolutely. I mean, Tools, we did speak extensively about how we were a bit concerned about Bravado's cause on Dust 2, but I don't think we actually did them enough justice, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it's a map that they've picked very often in the series they play as well. I think it's just because of the playstyle of 15AvgGang we were a bit concerned, but it's not like this is a punish pick by any stretch of the imagination against Bravado.
Much agreed there. Playing Dust 2 is like jumping back onto the bicycle. We all know how to use it.
Here's the investment Tools. Look how light they are on utility because of all the upgraded pistols they bought in the previous round.
And I get that they want to give themselves opportunity to try have impact from round to round, but at what cost, Matt? Doru, I actually like that smoke, nice and deep. Puts food for thought. For Razio, mid-control established, but Cat is the next step. Doru being spotted out there, he needs to be careful. Doesn't have the favorable weapon. Dori just inspecting what's going on in middle, finds no one at home. Readjusts towards Cat and BVD, lots of movements around the mini-map as map control slowly gets taken away from them.
Yeah, they actually aren't incredibly well set up right now to deal with the hit that supposedly going to come through here from 15AvgGang. Slowly starts to reposition in a timely fashion. 43 seconds left on the clock. Only a flashbang left remaining. That's all 15AvgGang here. All 15AvgGang have to get themselves on the bomb site in terms of util.
Yeah, just slowly sitting on the side. He does have a smoke with him. No Molotov to flush him out, so he has to stand his ground and fight. Mono on mono, man on man, the flashbang pumps. He drops towards CT, slowly, as he called that out, instantly deleted, segregated from CT spawn and Cat. This was a beautifully put strategy, but Blaze stops the bleed, keeps them in it.
Bomb plant about to come through. There are kits in play for the CT side. Retake absolutely on the cards. 3 versus 3 is the name of the game. Blaze looking to try and take first contact. That makes sense because they already knew that he was there. Little do 15AvgGang know there's more where that comes from, and now they've eliminated the threats of Blaze, but there's a snake in the grass. Doru looks to try and get himself in the mix as well, but he's lost Vulge in the process. That's a disaster, and it's going to be 15AvgGang who get themselves on the board. Not really of a fan of the way Slowy played that there, Tools. Playing from behind the boxes with the smoke out, getting wide swung. You can't do anything with that smoke to keep them at bay, and his head gets ripped off.
The clock should have been an indication that pressure was soon to be on him. So yeah, maybe a readjustment, maybe putting that smoke down and buying more time for the rest of his players to have impact. But Matt, from the time the freeze time ended, 15AvgGang played some good counter-strike. It was strategic.
Yeah.
They held up a B, they put a bit of pressure on long, but didn't take it. They investigated middle, they went through the double doors, saw nothing, went back towards Cat, and eventually collapsed on that A site. So they're showing a different face. I didn't see this from them yesterday, Matt.
Yeah, it's a good look coming through early days here. Getting a look at the players. The Bravado boys. Far left, Wipeout, Vulge, Slowy, Doru, and then out of picture Blaze.
Yeah, having a bit of banter with Blaze.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was telling him, just still remember who won your first LAN with you, boy.
How many LAN finals do you think Blaze has been in? I mean, definitely the most on the server right now.
Yes.
You know, in 2016, he was already making LAN finals with Big 5. Did it a couple times with Energy. 2018, he did it with Big 5 at the Comic-Con finals.
Yes.
2019 with Energy. 2020, he did it with ATK. So, 2021, he did it with Bravado.
Yeah, I mean, he could sit back, sit back, look at his Counter-Strike calendar, his career, and be like, God damn, I've been in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's the most experienced player in Grand Finals on LAN right now here on the server is Blaze.
And he's quite composed if you know him as an individual,
yeah.
As a person, reserved, chilled, listens, communicates quite well, so he does his part. Now and then you'll see him with those highlight frags immediately uploaded to YouTube. Without hesitation, I tell you. Vul's relegated to a scout as well as Blaze, and massive investment. A lot weighing on this round. The scout very pivotal and long. Just watch out before they collect their haircut. 15AvgGang back to their slow, methodical style. They've made sure there's no aggression towards that B side. They had eyes in middle, and they congregate towards that long region now, where the scouts prolifically deliver headshots. I said so. That haircut is there. Number one, it's a fade even. Blaze investigating further. Tag him and bag him. He does have some support there towards Cat, but will it hold as they trot onto the A side? The smokes, the one way upon the side scout isn't going to do much. Close range is down to Slowy. Deleted by Razio, making a statement as this A side collapses. BVD. What do they do now, Matt?
I think they just have to save their guns at this point. Retake is going to be so difficult. They've got A smoke, no kits. Vulture's on the glass cannon scouts as well. Not much of a cannon at that point. A kill will come through from the sniper, but these are consolation frags. This is just economic damage. Bomb's already too far gone. They end up committing and losing it all as a result, and now they got no money in the bank, Tools.
That was a bit of I wouldn't say immaturity from the BVD squad, showing some signs that they aren't making the most mature decision long term. You save those 3 weapons, you're able to reinvest in the next round. Now, essentially giving away a free round as they cannot purchase and mount up a formidable defense, relegated to just USPs and no armor.
Yeah. What I will say, that previous round was actually really well worked from 15AvgGang. They knew they had the superior weaponry, so they didn't actually have to get too extravagant with the round. As we do just see the burst into the B bomb side coming through. They didn't have many options after they committed to long and they lost that first frag to Blaze. They just grouped up, they deployed the wall of smokes, good util in towards the A bomb site, and they cleaned up on the execute. I mean, it was a really nice kill on Slowy. That's pretty much the frag that locks in the round.
Yeah, that was the game changer.
And a clean anti-eco from the T side as well. Don't even lose a single player.
Mounting up that bank.
That's it.
That paper.
I mean, look at their cash now, Tools.
Swimming.
On the side of Bravado, the investment doesn't look splendid. Lacking that AWP, and we all know how badly Slowy wants that gun, especially on the CT side of Dust 2.
Yeah, finances are pivotal. Roll and jump right over Slowy. He's getting sound cues. He finds one trying to get a multi-kill and he can't trade it immediately. But what they don't know is that that B side was bolstered. But the numbers just keep dropping. No impact. Daru, backside, can he do much? Wipeout needs to find a frag soon to assist.
Oh no.
Provide support, gets caught with his pants down, Matt. And that's what I call a sack lunch.
Doru's been undetected up until this point. Finally, he pounces, but unfortunately, wait, what? They haven't realized? Finally, the info actually comes through. Doru has to go through the smoke. So many players to take the fight, but at the same time, Blaze tries to force the issue. What on earth? How's he got that second kill? What an adjustment coming through from Blaze. It's only Ryzo left remaining. Blaze needs to force the issue. There's no health on either player. First bullet wins the clutch. It's going to be Ryzo to rescue the day for 15AvgGang. What an attempt from Blaze, though.
Hands in head, and I'm sure we all feel it. It could have gone any way. That last duel was so back and forth, so many moments where it could have gone either way. But 15AvgGang continue the lead up until 4. Bravado, 2-round deficit. Finally, attack pool maybe needs to be called, or was a bit too soon, Matt. Usually it's about, you need 5 rounds between the two, and that's when you need to start to worry. But
yeah,
they're not controlling the pace of the game. We see 2 gun rounds where they're being outplayed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We have seen 15AvgGang turn up the pace in these rounds so far, Tools. That was very fast in towards mid. Slowy was discombobulated with all those audio cues that came through. Eventually he gets a kill, but you can see that 15AvgGang are playing with the spring in their step right now, and it's going to be on Bravado to be able to adapt and deal with that pace. Something else to mention, Tools, that I thought about on the desk that we didn't have a chance to talk about was that something that I've noticed with this Bravado team is when they start a map really well, these guys just ride that momentum all the way, and they're actually very difficult to try and fight back against. But it also goes both ways. When they struggle and when they don't have a great start to the map, I haven't seen this team make too many comebacks. Normally it's when they get off to a good start, that's when they pull ahead. But sometimes when they fall behind, it doesn't look as pretty.
Yeah.
We saw that yesterday on Mirage.
We did. I mean, that's just, we call that a comeback mechanic that you need to implement. It's either a pocket strat, attack pause, where everybody needs to be on the same page. You discuss literally the most simplistic of roles and responsibilities to ensure that earlier on stages, interactions and duels go in your favor. You need to put yourself in a prime position for success. And if you aren't doing that, just like the rest of the cards that start to fall, becomes a chain effect. So I'm sure that's what they're discussing, how to control the pace. We need money to get those AWPs up. We saw what the scout did towards A long and Blaze's hands. Now imagine what an AWP can do in middle and towards the A side. It can stop them in their tracks. Because let's be honest, they aren't putting down the Xbox smokes. There's no hinge smoke, so the AWP has free reign. They just cannot afford it.
Yeah, you're right. If there was a sniper in play here, that would make Slowy's life a lot easier. And we know that he is one of those AWPers. He just wants the sniper pretty much every opportunity he can get it. And we saw him on the CT side of this map yesterday against Outlaws. He pushes short, he pushes up middle, into lowers with the sniper as well on the CT side. Definitely not as comfortable with the rifle.
No, not at all. It almost feels like if anyone needs to be taking the home and open up the scoreboard earlier on, it needs to be Vuljan. But I'm sure they've delegated him other roles and responsibilities, so Slowy kind of has to take up that mantle and become comfortable. He has no choice. This is the grand final.
As for 15AvgGang, this is their first LAN that they've played together as a team, Tools.
In 2 years, imagine that.
Not only that, just as a team, this is out of being together for 2 years, you're right, sure. Just shows you the lack of opportunities in their region, I suppose.
Yeah, it's disheartening, but at the same time, I'm quite glad that this is the first opportunity they get in South Africa.
Just some tech issues that we're resolving at the moment, guys. Not going to be too long before we get back into the server. Maybe a bit of an opportunity for Bravado just to regather themselves, Tools. We shed some light on the situation here.
Okay. So just to remember, folks, Dust 2's up now. Vertigo next. Inferno, Mirage, and Overpass to finish it off, if we even get there.
Yeah, that's it. And that's actually a mimicry or a exact replica of the map pool we had yesterday in their best of 3 Inferno, Mirage, Overpass. And those are the last 3 maps of the series here today. So after the first 2 maps, we could essentially restart a clean rematch of yesterday's best of 3.
Facts, Matt. Big facts. And at the same time, they didn't look in good shape on Overpass. So I'm pretty sure both teams are maybe going over the VOD thinking, all right, what can we change in Overpass? But they've left it till the last minute, so if they spend time prepping for Overpass, it might have taken away time from them prepping for what's to come, which is Mirage after that. Vertigo is going to be an interesting one. We haven't seen that in the whole event.
No, we haven't, no.
So that's going to be an interesting one. Very confusing map for the observer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But for us too, I'm thinking we're going to have quite a bit on our hands. But all in all, yeah, I'm happy with this map pool.
I want to get your thoughts on something here, Tools, if we're not going back into the game just yet. In a best of 5, do you think it's better to leave your 5th map as a map you're comfortable on? Or should you try and get your best maps out as early as you can in the best of 5 and then hope you don't end up going to that 5th map, which would be your least favored?
Good question, good question. I'd rather get all the best maps first to make sure we put ourselves in a good position to succeed. So you get to that 3rd map, at least you got there.
Okay.
And once you're there, all the formulas, your communication, the coordination, each individual feels comfortable in the mechanical sense, the awareness is up. That means they're ready. Even though you don't understand the map, you're able to apply all the tools coming from the previous map into it. And you're able to problem solve and brainstorm within the real time, in the moment. So yeah.
I think that's actually a really good point that you make. You know, once you get to a 5th map of a best of 5, it's not necessarily about the textbook anymore. It's not necessarily about how much work you've put into the map, because at that point, everyone's going to be fatigued and exhausted. So it's who can keep up with the pace, who still has that little bit of energy left in the tank. Comes down to that brawly type of game.
Yeah.
So if we do go the distance, I think Overpass will look very different today compared to what it looked yesterday.
100%, a lot more clean too, and I'm sure they're aware of it as well. But again, it depends what side you start. We saw all the CT sides picked up majority of the rounds and became difficult when they switched sides. It almost became a ruffle stomp from map to map to map up until the 3rd, which was pretty close. So it was a good indication and kind of speaks to our point that once you get to that 3rd map, it kind of becomes even. You throw the strat book out the window and it comes to feeling your team out.
Yep.
Because it's not about the playbook at the end of the day. Once you know your man, you can play against him. You're in his head, rent free. That's
exactly it. Tools.
Oh, what a beautiful,
what
beautiful
a trophy. Yeah, I love that. Hopefully the first of many Intel Africa Masters trophies.
Some would say it weighs 50 stones.
I believe we just have an issue with one of the players' headsets. As you can see, the beautiful human elusive there looking to resolve the problems. Hopefully not going to be too long before we get back into the matchup here. Do you think that the break is going to be favoring Bravado? Just, you know, lost 4 rounds in a row here. I know it's not like that's the end of the world, but just a bit of a chance to rein things in a little bit again.
It's a mental reset. I mean, we call them icebreakers for a reason. It comes from the traditional sense of, let's say you're playing football or rugby on a field covered in ice, you kind of clean it out for the next team or the next moments, and all the nerves are already weaved out, and it just comes down to the game that you play and how you feel out. So yeah, this break is going to be nice for them just to relax and, you know, because that was fast-paced Counter-Strike towards the end. They're able to just to individually console with themselves and be like, all right, I'm ready.
Would you agree that 15AvgGang are playing with less pressure than Bravado in the series right now?
100%. I mean, Bravado's at home crowd. They got the blue flag. They got all the management here watching in anticipation, ready. And I'm sure, you know, if you've ever been in Bravado, there's something called the BVD aura. Yep. And once you get into those specific moments where it's make or break, that aura just starts to shine bright, and it gives you no choice but to succeed. But the problem is you have to learn how to use that aura. And these are new boys in the squad. Let's see if they have to enhance that power, because it's intense. It's responsibility, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, that aura is infectious, and they've got Dimi behind them as well, Detri, Andreas in the crowd, Tools on the desk, Sonic was here yesterday, Elusive is behind them, so that aura is all over at the moment.
Yeah, it's like Goku when he summons the Earth Ball.
Is that the Spirit Bomb?
Spirit Bomb, that's what it's called.
The Earth Ball, that could work as well, mate. Listen, I haven't watched much Dragon Ball Z myself, but yeah, I got that one, I caught that one. Yeah, I agree though. I think Bravado are playing with more pressure right now than 15AvgGang. I mean, they've just come here from Algeria. What have they got to lose? They just want to come here, put on the best performance possible, play pressure free.
Yeah, and I was mentioning to them, at the end of the day, it's Africa that wins.
Here we go, Tools, back into the game. Thank you for waiting. Thanks for being patient, whether you're here at Rage or watching online. We are back into the action. Shouldn't be too much of an explosive start in the 7th here, considering there's just pistols for BVD.
Algeria run with caution to the wind, and already one player spots in the middle. They're already inside the B side, so Vils, lovely deagle, but what you take, you give. Preemptive spams there. This round should be closed out, and on usually the cases in these eco rounds, you want to just capitalize and make sure you get that buffer economically. You don't want to losing more than 3 players.
Yeah, they shouldn't have any trouble winning the round out here. Dotty's already secured them a safe path of exit in towards that T-spawn area. Lambda Core might even go for some exit kills here just because he's got that Mac 10. But low health on the remaining players. You can see Volge is already heading to the hills to save that A1S. And as anticipated, 5-3 scoreline coming through. 5-2 scoreline, excuse me. And that's 5 in a row here for 15AvgGang, Tools.
Yeah, well, Bravado have kind of had their mini pause.
Yes.
So the next gun round will be telling.
They will have that AWP in play. Doru probably going to drop that across to Slowy. And that's the first time he will have had it here in this grand final so far.
Bear in mind the AWP has been nerfed from 10 bullets to 5, so you got to be wise, selective about your shots. Can't spam as much as you used to, I'm sure. Slowy, he's the one they're going to be looking at this round. Smokes towards long, and it is going to be the battle of utility. Blue gets naded out, and kind of a stalemate. Bravado opting to retreat, reposition. You lose long, the call is you got to take cats, you got to take short.
Yeah, that's it, and you can see the protocols already coming into place here for Bravado Gaming. A tale as old as time itself, Tools. Lose long, take short. Yes. I think that's written in the scriptures somewhere, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 100%, it's biblical.
It has to be. And the days are numbered, right? In fact, this is the last time we will see Dust 2 on land in South Africa for many years to come, Tools.
And I'm sure that brings a tear. So a lot of the OGs out there, this is their career. This is how they started. They highlight the frags that they've been getting on this map. And I'm sure Anubis won't be welcomed as they've wanted. Blaze tasked to handle. Cat gets identified and acknowledged. Utility back and forth. A stalemate there too. Wipeout working with all the sound cues, and I'm sure he's transferring that to the rest of this team. Are they ready for this cat breach?
Bravado are looking very uncomfortable on, say, bomb side right now. Slowy and Blaze just trying to find a way to position themselves. Great flashbang. Not sure if Blaze was spotted or not. Not going to hang around to find out. It's Wipeout and Slowy opening up the kill feed. Finally a response from 15AvgGang. Now that pressure starts to mount on the A bomb site.
Oh, Labdacraw doubling back, just one last look towards Cat and finds his man. Same time Blaze, Bullsjon adds to the tally. It was Slowy to start it off with an AWP. It's down to risk off 1 versus 3. Can he make the clutch? Can he start this off with a bang?
Fakes the plant, tries to draw players out. Nobody offers him up anything. Now he commits to the plant. And Bravado have a very good shot at the retake flash over the top. They get the kill, and with that it will be Bravado getting back to winning ways.
Good
impressive
showcase.
Gun round, yeah.
But I say it was a good showcase of high-level Counter-Strike. It all started with that double flash, the first flash and the bait flash. That Blaze got caught out there. I wouldn't have expected it, and I'm sure he wasn't expecting that double flash through the first flash. The second one was just how that clutch unfolded. Blaze, I'm not too sure it was Blaze, jumped just to pull the attention of the bomb planter, and a player swinging off Cat, so the communications are flowing like the ancient rivers of the Babylon.
Looking really good right now in that round for Bravado, as you say. Communication looked good. I thought they were a bit uncomfortable there towards short, but they're able to make it work in the end.
Yes.
More than enough money here, though, for 15AvgGang to invest in this next round, and even in the round after this, regardless of what happens. But Tools, This is going to be a mammoth execute coming through here from the T side right now. It does look like cavalry is about to arrive on the scene in Volge.
Yeah, but they're low in utility. They have to play in front of the utility, but they get caught off. A smoke just segregates the two pods. It's Bulljon isolated as well. Back of the side, Doru needs to stand tall. He needs to buy time for the rest of the rotation. Finds the first. Razio struggling to find his man, and eventually does. They've segregated the attack and the defense, and this looks like a successful breach on the B-bomb side. Razio taken out 2 versus 3 retake. My money's not going for this one.
I don't think this is worth it. Wipeout's so damn low right now. Save both these guns you can, just afford to buy in the next, but that's a rough round loss for Bravado Gaming. And Doddy, he's going to make sure that that AWP, that second AWP doesn't get saved. Blaze got a bit greedy there trying to take that extra AWP. Understandable, but that's going to cost them a gun in the next round.
And look at that, they're already hunting, so Wipeout 16 HP. But we must give a round of applause for 15AvgGang. That exec was beautiful, but
yeah,
it didn't help that Daru dropped that smoke down and isolated Bulljon to create that two-pronged defense, kind of splitting their focus when they come through that narrow choke point. The point is one takes contact and the other trades when one goes down without both of them going down at the same time. So I just felt that Daru needs to hold on to that smoke until Bulljon went down while he's still alive.
Yeah.
Maybe use it elsewhere, maybe use it sooner, but I don't know.
That's normally a play that you make. You deploy that smoke when you're by yourself on the B-bomb side, not when you have a player you're with. I completely agree there, Tools. We will see another investment coming through into the round here from us on Volge. The concern for Bravado in that previous round is how easy that was for 15AvgGang to just waltz into the B-bomb site.
I mean, I always thought that would have held strong. 2 players inside the B site, usually you can just delete them at that choke point.
You'll never have more than that as the CT side, so if you can't make it work with 2, then that's a bit of a concerning factor.
Yeah, but they're going to look to recover that. Slowy has the AWP, like I said.
Oh no.
Field down middle, they bait him into it. Got a bit too greedy. Needed to actually note the back of his head. There is another AWP somewhere. They do have one themselves. And he's pretty good at the game. It's Daru sitting a backside.
Oh, he's been spotted.
Alright, now he wants to drop the smoke, which is fine, but he's losing time to react as they flush through the choke point. Bulls misses his first shot, and there we go, he goes down immediately. He needs to get more flags going in there. Survive by the skin of his teeth. 2 versus 3. 3 versus 3. In fact, it's the AWP. Razio on low HP. They gotta go for this, right, Matt?
Very low HP on a couple of these players on the server right now, 1 for each squad. And as you say, Bravado, they want to have a crack at this. They've got kits, they've got a flash, they have a smoke. And it looks like they want to set this in motion, trying to decide as to how they want to go about the retake right now. Who's going to take point? It's Blaze who's in the front lines right now, waiting for that flash off the back of it, charges his way through, able to get a frag and on the transfer. That's a second, all onto Ruskov. 1 kill onto Volge, he just needs to stay alive for time. Diffuser's going to come through. Yes, Blaze is on it, he's good, he's got it just in time. A second to spare.
That was a good retake. They had to go for it, looking at how many rounds are losing consecutively back to back, and I'm sure Slowy, as you can see him typing messages, delegating responsibilities. Guys, what happened in that B side? We can't keep retaking it like that. We got lucky. Next time, Blaze isn't going to be so prolific. He isn't going to be there to save them like he did.
Great retake there from Bravado. That's going to ignite them here to continue to fight back on the CT side. That's a much better start to the round from Slowy. As I said, he loves pushing up short and imposing himself at the start of the round, and he does find that opening kill. Blaze complements it with the frag of his own, and it's a great advantage here for BVD. 2 men up.
Yeah, I got a suspicion next round 15AvgGang going to turn up that pace, play a lot faster, because these AWPs are coming in through, and I did say it's one of the easiest ways for BVD to get back into this. That's how most of the tournaments have been won, with that double AWP setup dating back to 2014. It's the double AWP dating back to 2006. Saint Andemy used to AWP back then.
It is the iconic map for the double AWP setup, absolutely, Tools. It can be so difficult to break into that CT side when both of those AWPs are firing. As for Spike, just looking to try and find some kills here, inflict a bit of extra damage. Not going to happen though. And they get to upgrade to some AKs as well. A bit of a dance there for Volge. Eventually he will get to the gun though.
Just having a look at the money,
I think they have just enough, but I might be wrong. Looking at the kills though, 11 frags for Blaze, 10 for Volge. The duo doing the damage right now for Bravado. And there we go, there will be an investment from 15AvgGang. They have their AWP as well, but there's no money left after this. But No Vilge on the server either.
Yeah, he's one of the impact players, carries Blaze, fast to handle, recovers just in time, teamed up with Wipeout to collectively pick up that frag. Lambda Corp takes control. They've lost long, so they're taking the other. Blaze flirting with fire.
Clues in the name, Tools. He doesn't feel too uncomfortable when he finds himself amongst the flames, does Blaze.
Comfortable with the heat.
That's it. He can hang in the kitchen.
And he can cook. Have you seen that meme? Let him cook.
I haven't, actually.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
I do like the new one, the Shaq one, though. I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game. That's a good one.
Meme game is strong on the internet these days. Slowly creeping, finding more information in tandem with Doru. They're going to relay that information, pivot around, as you can see. Wipeout. Does he want to go hold that A site or retake it? Because he will be alone. He has his smoke if he wants to deploy that to hold him back for a further 15 seconds. I don't think the first contact should be coming from lowers. If they give it up, they could pivot back to the B side.
Oh, no.
Zone cues are there, but already they've triggered the A side hit. Wipeout finding the first, dropping into spawn. Holds on till to his smoke. It's a 1 versus 1. Not too sure if he wants to take it. And there we go. Beating them in the front and beating them at the back. They even it up 6-6.
Yeah, what was actually quite unfortunate about that for 15AvgGang is the fact they decided to drop into CT because there was nobody on the A-bomb site itself, and Wipeout welcomes them with open arms.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Gives them a kiss on the forehead and says, let's move on to the next. 13th round upon us, and it's an eco for the T side, so chance for Bravado to get that lead once again. Welcome one, welcome all. Guys, don't be shy. Let's close the gaps in the seats. People standing around can grab a seat here as well. Acquaint yourselves with one another, all here for the love of Counter-Strike.
And need I remind you, it was Counter-Strike to kick off this esports train, dating back to 1999. Developed, upgraded, features added to improve the game, aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
I didn't know if you were talking about Rage or Counter-Strike, Tools, because the bill was fitted for both, so there we go.
Facts.
Great to be home once again. Our new home here at the Gallagher Center. But, yeah, that's a good kill from Lambda Core. Opens up the A-bomb side. Plant going to come through. I mean, no armor on these players. Haven't been able to recover any guns just yet either. Retake certainly on the cards here, Tools.
Yeah, and it's Blaze sitting in long. That's a second Eagle headshot from Landicor, making a statement. We haven't uttered his name up until this point. The utility Bravado feel the need to go for this retake, but they're outnumbered, mismatching, getting twisted on their heads. This Blaze coming in long. Can he save them once more? Again, 41 HP, and Razio cleans them out. And it's always the eco to unravel Bravado, unravel every team in South Africa. It's a curse.
Oh, man, and look at what that's done to the money of the CT side as well. Vilge barely has any cash. Wipeout low as well, as we get to see Lambda Core here in the round. Look at how pumped he is, man, and why wouldn't he be? 2 great kills coming through from his Desert Eagle. That's what got his team in the round, Tools.
Yep, delegated to his fist pump for each Eagle headshot. So you know the vibes are up there, you know the mood is up there. Razio, is he going to hang on long enough? Finds the flag.
Wow.
A bit labored there. Same time, it's down to Doro with the FAMAS. It's an inferior weapon, but it can do the job. Can he stand tall? He needs to anchor down this B side. He's isolated. That smoke's going to buy him some time, but he needs to find a man. But no, it's Razio. His entry fragging has been impeccable so far in this matchup as they lock out this B side.
Round over.
Yep.
They have to call it. They've got no money. If they don't save any of these guns, it's going to be a disaster. But that's not even a foregone conclusion. A snake in the grass. Ruskov exposes himself, gets one, looking for the second as well. This is a disaster for Bravado.
They're struggling to save Matt. Just hold on to weaponry for the next round, and slowly gives away position. He does find a man. It's good for the stat board, but it gives away his location. Can you look at the minimap, Matt? He's being hunted.
Whoa. That's a nice flick there. Went for the highlight reel.
Sweet chin music.
Slowy's in trouble though. But Tools, can we just take a second to acknowledge how horrible the life of a B player is? I mean, I just feel so bad for Doru there with the FAMAS in the back of the bomb site. Just has to underarm a smoke grenade in front of him, and he's getting rushed, mollied, flashed. I mean, that's such a horrible role to have to play on the CT side, man.
Yeah, 100%. Then there's two ways to play that B side as an anchor by yourself. Yeah, you can play at the back of the site and you can stay alive long like Doru does. But there's the different school of thought where use your smoke early, hold that B site until you exhausted all your utility, and then find an off angle and get your man, because that allows the rotations to come in. But simultaneously, Long has been basically abducted by 15AvgGang. Once again, we have a neutral defense. Where is Slowy with that AWP? Why is he always in positions where he doesn't make impact or can't make impact? The previous gun round, he was in CT spawn with an AWP. He's supposed to be sitting at car with that AWP. He's supposed to be AWPing down middle, rotating, making an impact, but we haven't seen that yet.
I mean, he's pushed through tunnels. It's just unfortunate for him that he hasn't been able to find anybody on that side of the map. And I don't really blame his decision-making. I mean, 15AvgGang have gone towards that bomb site a lot so far throughout this half. So unfortunately, he bets on red and it lands on black. But there are still options available for the T side after getting players out towards Long. Ruskov looking to try and take attention there as well.
It's like playing duck hunt. And the thing with the scout is it gives you good movement speed. So there's nothing wrong with what Blaze is doing, trying to find the right moment to take his shot. And 15AvgGang, man. IGL has been on point. If you look at the mini-map, they've re-rotated back to that B side just to make sure control is in their hands before they collapse into this A side. Because information has been given from Bravado that they're sitting on Long. Cool, the AWP is in pit. How do we fish him out? Slowly, back towards that B side. And I'm sure he'll be welcomed very soon. The Molotov finds this man, and I guess that's the impact we've been talking about. But now that they've identified where the AWP is, they'll be pressed towards Long, and there we go. Goes through the smoke, finds one. Razio trades him out, and high ground. Doru is there with the bomber. Slabdikor, Ruskov left remaining. The bomb is in no man's land. It's be able to cover that. That's trigger discipline. That's in the 6 in the back.
And they know exactly where Doru is as well. They should at least. They saw him get that kill. Time though. Time. There's no time, Tools. The round is over. The half is over. And they ended looking lovingly into each other's eyes.
The one thing humanity strives to attain, strives to purchase, but cannot. And that is time, Matt. Time rules us all.
You can see a little bit of frustration there as well. I don't know if they lost track of the clock in that round or maybe change their focus. There we go. Bomb gets dropped by Doru with 12 seconds on the clock. Ruskov doesn't go for it immediately. He's looking for the kill. Maybe sporadic comms there as well. Lambdakor saying, wait, I've got the big backstab. Anyway, that's in the past.
He took high ground to find that frag. That's why the bomb dropped down, though.
That's unfortunate, but he nearly got that kill. And then he wins the round if he does.
Indeed.
Huge impact from Doru, Tools. Second pistol round underway though. Ruskov will open it up. Bravado looking to try and break their way into this T side. Lots of fights breaking out though.
Pistol round doesn't really weigh much as the scores are so tight. Usually at 12-3, you kind of rely on that as they pivot towards this A side. Molotov just to make sure no one can rotate and see spawn. Long range headshot from Driskov, deleting the members of Bravado. Wipeout brings it back. 2 versus 4. They're not out of the woods just yet, Matt.
They're still very deep in the woods right now, are Bravado Gaming. They are able to find the plant. Wipeout's trying to craft and carve a way out of the forest. And Blaze gets a huge kill onto Doddy. This is a 2v5, if I'm not mistaken. That's turned into a 2 versus 2. Not a great amount of health on these players remaining either.
Where's the kit, Matt? Low HP and Riskoff. It's down to Lambdakor. Oh!
Are you kidding me?
Great grandmother spatula. What was that? One apiece?
My God, I mean, that was looking dire for 15AvgGang in the 2v2. 2 quick clean taps, though. Ruskov is having a great performance in this first map of the final. A lot of impact in that pistol round, Tools. I think he might have got a quad kill, at least a triple.
There we go, 4 of a kind, surely. 14 kills. He's doing the Lord's work for 15AvgGang. The Lord's work for Algeria.
Doesn't look like we're going to see an investment here from Bravado. Even though they got the bomb plants in the pistol round, they lost here on the T side. So that's against the grain. They want to get that full buy in the next round. They want to get the guns out as early as they can.
Bill's just testing the waters and Long moving together in formation in the death ball, making sure the objective to get the bomb down needs to be attained. Lambdakor deleted by the scout to wipe out. It's the MP9 at long range, I understand. Let's Tuck can get a bit closer and take these fights. That shoots the weapon, the scout, everyone's squishy. It's a Deagle from Bulls.
No.
He needs more bullets. He goes for the knife. He picks up the A1. He finds his man. 1 versus 2. Can Bullseye get it done?
He knows he needs a Desert Eagle here. He has to get the one-shot headshot potential. He doesn't have health to afford any other fights, and Ryzo will force the issue, get the kills. Vulge made it interesting, and it's actually a splendid eco round coming through from Bravado, able to get 3 kills, Tools.
Hella expensive.
Good awareness there from Vulge to pick up the M4 in the middle of the fight there.
I'm pretty sure their heart rates were sitting at 180, both of them in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Here comes the gun round though, man.
All right, Bravado need to close the gap. 3 separate the 2. And you can't really say if it's a CT-sided or a T-sided map. It's one of the most balanced maps in the pool. It's why it's existed for so long through various iterations of the game. As we can see, Algeria take attack pools, need to recompose themselves, communicating, composing themselves. Each member needs to focus up. This is the grand final. They want to go back home, walk off that plane, victorious.
That would be huge. Coming across the continent all the way to South Africa to beat the favorites on their home soil. What a story that would be. Right now, Dottie, he's looking to try and start his script in the round, but unfortunately it's a short ending for him.
That flash needed to be a bit sooner. I understand the train of thought and utility being just dispelled. No damage just yet. Wipeout has been reduced to 25 HP, so he needs to move around just a bit. And so active are these players from Algeria just to make sure they're retaining information, and that's touchdown. A Kobe landing on Wipeout, finishing off the food of Dottie. I mean, they're easily able to leave that B side, move towards middle. Blaze delivers a headshot into Riskov, just taking that advantage, delivers a second. Back-to-back headshots, checks the sick, is Slowy. He smelled the rat in the corner.
Beautiful kills coming through, particularly from Blaze, able to blow that door wide open on the A bomb site with those entries. And this was such an important round for Bravado's cause as well. Lose this, 7-11 becomes 7-12 after the eco, but that's not the reality that we witness. And because of the kills they get in that eco round, look at the money here for 15AvgGang now, Tools, or lack thereof, should I say.
They have no money, fighting with pots and pans.
They have to force though.
And it's the ecos that kind of was a needle in the haystack, and somehow 15AvgGang were able to pick one up on the opposite side. So it's the ecos Bravado need to stop. If they're winning all those ecos, they're looking good on these gun rounds. That's who could go their way, risk off. And that's the swing I was telling you about earlier yesterday. They swing an extra step too wide, and always favors them. Bravado need to get used to their crosshair placement. Just put an extra length to the right-hand side, because these guys hold that W key pretty hard.
Speaking of holding the W key, look at where Lambda Core finds himself right now. We're only 30 seconds into the round, and he's gleaning so much information here for his team with this position.
All players conversion. The pop flash isn't good enough, and I think they need to get better at doing those flashes. Tag with that scout from Dottie. Another flash comes through. It's Dottie with the headshot with the scout. Blaze gets the trade, but is it going to be enough to hold them back? They still have to worry about their 6. Yet to activate just yet. Lambda Core, when will he strike?
Finally he does. Backstab activated. Vulge goes down. Doru left in the clutch. Sure, there's time left in the round, and that means that he can go for a little bit of an exploratory mission in towards long. Gets the kill on Lambda Core. Never going to expect the second though.
Back-to-back flanks. You never expect that.
That's why it was so clever for Ryzo.
That means they're thinking on another level. BVD need to just catch up with that train of thought. You don't want to be playing behind in the sense of the meta. You want to always play in front, always try control, set the pace, force the readjustments, be reactive rather than proactive, or proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tools. Try to take steps preemptively right now. Steps being made towards long here for Bravado Gaming. Limited in terms of utility here because their cash wasn't great coming into this round. Money looking very rough for 15AvgGang as well. No snipers in play here for either squad.
15AvgGang, I think they're in hot waters. They've lost long control, lost cat control, about to be pincered on this A site, and that's the sound that's going to give it away. That's going to force the readjustment. It's the MP9s doing the Lord's work. How in God's name did he find that headshot?
The problem is Slowy actually missed the flash there that would have forced the player off the angle, so that missed flash did cost them something. Still able to continue to edge their way forward in towards the bomb site. There's a kill from Bilge. That'll create more space, but Spike continues to do work with that MP9. Ruskov with the AK will get in on the action as well. Through the corpse, he taps away, does get damage, but not going to be lethal.
Or headshot into Blaze needs to be cautious. It's Wipeout that needs to stand tall. 50 HP, 2 versus 2 retake. Wipeout finds his man, evens the numbers out. Lambda core headshot with the Farmas, and it's down to Wipeout. The bomb, I don't really think it favors him in terms of the plant. He needs to press forward, find what's happening in front of him, and a flash comes through. And once again, that MP9. They need to nerf it, Matt! Nerf the MP9!
Yeah, that's true. The SMG incredibly strong right now, but how potent with 15AvgGang on that retake, man.
I mean, the ball was in Bravado's court. Everything was laid down. The foundation was there. Long control, cat control, the movement to the side. They had the advantage even in the terms of their weaponry on the post plant.
Yeah, I think Blaze might have overplayed his hand a little bit there on the ramp, just going for that swing. I mean, I understand the school of thought if he just gets that kill instantly, he wins the round for his team, but his head just gets ripped right off, and then it's Wipeout left in what almost feels like an unwinnable 1v2 because of where the bomb's planted.
100%. Patience is so important in the game of Counter-Strike. You have to let the game unfold. You don't want to end the round sooner than it has to be, because that opens opportunity for mistakes.
2 people next to each other there behind the Bravado players. Not normally the capacity they're used to being alongside one another. One is a coach, one is an admin. Yeah. Normally they're the ones with their headsets on and about to get into the server.
100%.
I'm sure they're frothing tools, as are you, no doubt.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, sure. A lot of players, OGs, would give a finger to jump back on that stage, to wind back time.
Is that all you'd give tools, just a finger?
Just a finger.
All right.
An unimportant one. It would be the keyboard finger.
Bravado Gaming with an eco. Sure, a few upgraded pistols and a little bit of utility, but not much to speak of.
Razio just being alerted. Pressure is on the way. Viper testing out what's happening towards the window. Can't find the headshot there. Lambda Core finding Slowy far apart of the pack. All just starting to fall apart. It is kind of an eco upgraded. There we go. Wipeout delivers that deadly deagle shot, and it's down to Blaze, and he just has one job: get that bomb down. They're gonna obviously jump and try get him. Oh, one more hop. Gets to the top, and that'll extend the lead 13-8. It's slipping.
Yeah, it is. This next gun round is going to be everything for Bravado. If you're here in the crowd right now and you're supporting them, maybe you should make some noise to try and know that you're behind them, or so that they know you're behind them, should I say.
They need a bit of encouragement right now, and I'm sure
not much of it though, Tools.
Delivering some fist pumps.
Bravado on home soil, but you wouldn't say so. Not getting much love from the crowd right now.
Maybe it's not the right soil.
15AvgGang silencing more than just the team.
The crowd.
And that's a big aspect of being the team who's not on home soil, the away team as well, right? You're not only fighting your opponents, but the crowd as well.
That's the thing. A lot of players, they feel that motivation, that push, that energy from the crowd, and it sort of translates towards the server. Dotty, we've seen this before up against the Nigerians. This is why we highlighted him as one of the MVP players, one of the impactful players on the side of 15AvgGang. Algerian fans in chat smiling at the prospect of a W and Dust 2.
Yeah, it's looking increasingly likely after those first 2 kills, and look at how they've just called it a day after that. They've locked in their profits, and they've forced Bravado to make the next move because they're not giving any further fights away. How does BVD rescue this situation? Shot gets baited out there, but there's a second player in the setup.
The bait and switch. A pivotal tool for success. Buljan, Daru, left to recover this round. Forced to problem solve, critically think how they can punch their way back into this. The setups across the map, lovely from 15AvgGang.
I don't think they should go for this, to be honest with you. 2v5. Lose both these guns. Next round's not going to be great in terms of the investment. Had they saved those 2 AKs, they're able to afford a full buy. I mean, they'll still have a decent set of weaponry coming through, but not even a single kill for the side of Bravado in that round, Tools. Things looking very bleak for them here on Dust 2 right now.
That technical pause is going to come and save them. A breather. A moment to just consolidate and absorb what has transpired in the past couple of rounds. 23 to be exact. 2 rounds away from map point for 15AvgGang.
Just got to look at the numbers there. Very even kill distribution on the side of 15AvgGang. Pretty much everybody between, I think it was 13 and 18 kills or something like that. Blaze leading the charge on the server. He's up to 20, but as of now in vain.
Everybody bringing what they need to the party from Algeria. Chewing on some gum.
Nah, he's snacking up
Suppresses
there,
the
Tools.
nerves. Food, actual
Has to be, mate.
nutrients.
That's the biggest piece of gum I've ever seen in my life otherwise.
Remember those bubaloos?
Do that whole roll?
Yeah.
Sheesh. That stuff tasted horrible, man.
It did.
It was a cool case, though.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Back into the game we go, thankfully. Not too much of a delay.
All right, slowly, has the AWP, needs impact jab, needs to add value with the big green. Is he going to go for the one-on-one duel? I love these AWP battles. Whoever's quicker on the trigger, we have our outsmarts with positioning. And slowly finds his man, opens up the scoreboard, gives Bravado a bit of hope.
Yeah, I love that Slowy still is keen to take the fight there, even though he knew the CT was towards doors. He just ducks down, shifts across towards the opposite side, and then he gets the angle. Good opening kill coming through from the IGL. Needs to be more where that came from, though.
Ooh, Doru smells the rat, finishes off his man as Landakor needing to rotate, but simultaneously pressure's being thrown towards Cat. Opts to go too long just to cure that point of retake if they need it and want to.
Oh, he's been spotted. Good information now for Bravado, and Doru will capitalize off the back of that. Great round coming through here from BVD. All started off the back of that opening kill from Slowy, and then I believe it was Blaze who got the second kill there. That just created all the space in the world. Looks very simple at the end of the day.
Also want to go for this retake, wipeout. Recovers well and quick enough. Blaze delivers a swift headshot. He's on fire. He's playing some good Counter-Strike. Precise.
We've seen what this guy's capable of doing in grand finals gone by, Tools.
This is not his first rodeo by any means.
It's particularly the third map, normally best of 3 grand finals, where he's just had some insane performances in the past.
Single-handedly, I've seen him change games and win titles, Matt.
Yeah, he
So
did it
he's
against you
capable.
as well, Tools.
Against me, with me, no. He's got it.
What was it, 2019 on Inferno? Energy v Big 5?
That was on the main stage right there.
Opposite side of the
In front
hall.
of us, opposite side of the hall.
Dropped 40 on Inferno.
Big numbers, Matt. Big numbers.
Proven before, he's got that big match temperament. Does Blaze.
Nice keyboard he got.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have epilepsy or whatever the condition is that is affected by flashing lights.
Yep. It's the new gen keyboards that are coming out.
Bit of a tech pause here, unfortunately, once again for the Algerian team.
Not many players in Algeria had wireless mouses, even though a lot of players are picking them up and say it's more convenient. Nobody likes that cable. It's a bit irritating. You got to get a mouse bungee. Ever since I switched to a wireless mouse, everything's been bliss. You don't need a mouse bungee anymore.
I mean, I remember the purists never used to like those wireless mice, though, the wireless mouse. Yeah, well, wireless mice, that's the word. But there was always the response time that wasn't great, right? But obviously, as the technology's improved, now it's become the option.
Some
I mean, I remember back at Rage, people used to use the CRT monitors even when the LEDs had started and LCDs had started to come through because they had the 120 hertz refresh rate.
Yes. I was one of those. I didn't switch until they came out with the 144 hertz.
Oh, really?
Screen. I didn't switch.
Damn.
Just carry that CRT on my left shoulder and the case on the right.
Yeah. Yeah, gamers used to be get quite the workout carrying their rigs back and forth. Tools. Now all you have to do is bring your peripherals, mouse and keyboard in the backpack, pitch up. PCs are provided by Intel.
Exactly.
Way better than what you could have brought yourself.
Life is bliss at the moment.
And that's exactly what we want, right? For competitive integrity, everybody playing on the exact same setup, exact same situation.
Even.
That's why LAN is the GOAT. That's why LAN is what matters the most.
Facts. A lot of BVD flags in the crowd. Doru is my carry. There we go. If you hear me, Doru, you have support in the crowd. Doru, I don't know what that face is. What's the emoticon there?
He's not the carry in the server right now, I'm afraid, though, Tools. I mean, sorry, just a bit of vanity. I had to get that one out, but...
No, Matt, there's 5,000 languages in this world, and you just speaking facts. He's not on top of the scoreboard.
I mean, but I did also highlight what a horrible role he has to play in that CT side, so, you know, can't have your cake and eat it, Tools.
Oh! Through the flames! So he didn't see much.
What a way to start the round. After a prolonged pause, they're just trying to get themselves straight back into it. Ruskov able to avoid the flashbang, but he can't connect on the shot. Now he's forced into the bomb site here. Wipeout looking to hunt him down. Great headshot there. Ruskov overexposes. Oh, Wipeout.
He's clinical. He's clean.
That break did him well. He's looking like he's having a great event though, Tools.
Yeah,
just his mechanics are looking really solid right now.
I mean, yeah, it's coming into his own. Yesterday we saw, was it in the third map he started to step up? Oh, Dink and a Dong. I'm going to continue to go for this retake. Lambda Core waiting in anticipation for his boy. Moves in, finds the first, immediately traded. It's down to Spiken. We haven't spoke much of him, so let's see what we can do. Double family, and there we go. Works hard. Bravado, get themselves double digits.
Great position there from Wipeout, just on the off angle. Spiken going to hard clear the corner so he doesn't actually check it in time. Exposes himself before he checks towards Car.
Yeah, but that was wild from Razio, swinging up a B twice. He finds his first man, finds a second, and then tries to go for 3?
At that point, that's where you need to know enough is enough, right? But it's so difficult as a player to stop that bloodthirsty nature.
Yes, when you're on stage and you're feeling it.
And you're hearing the crowd.
Let the bird fly.
Cost him, though. They clipped his wings.
Blaze, Wipeout, and Slowy all earning their fair share. Dotty sitting lows with that MP9, and I'm sure they're aware of his presence. We'll be able to find his man. A hard clear will do Bravado well. A scout shot doesn't nest a frag though, but does a loads of damage. Or could this be the unraveling of Bravado? 4 versus 2. They can't let this one slip. You need to compound and capitalize on that man advantage, especially when you're 4 rounds behind.
I mean, there's no ways they lose this round, right? They can't be any way they lose this round. This was the 5v2. 15AvgGang had practically nothing going for them right now, and it's still a very tough round for them to make happen. It wasn't eco, Tools.
Yeah, Blaze has that AWP from low HP, so needs to find his
There
man.
we go.
Blaze. He's extremely well versed with every weapon, every arsenal within the game of Counter-Strike. It's Dotty with that AK sitting towards Cat. Isn't too sure where the remaining players in blue actually are. Bomb is going to be a good indication as to where. Opts to maybe recover an AWP. They didn't have one of their own, right? So he's going to save that AK, run to the hills. A gentleman's agreement into round 26.
First map of the grand final, starting to heat up here, Tools. Bravado fighting back, showing they have that comeback ability, at least for the time being. Impressive to see.
Because we know they got the sauce.
Yeah.
So now they need to just provide the rest of the ingredients.
They've had a tough time of it on the T side so far, but showing there's still some left in the tank. If they win this next round, then it's going to be a 14-13 scoreline. They'll feel like they're in the ascendancy at that point. Lose the next round, though. It's map point for 15AvgGang. So really in the balance as things stand. Going to be a tactical timeout here, I believe, as we can see on the player's screen. Dotty trying to hype them up, trying to get them going.
Trying to get their energy. He needs it. It's a source of energy. Vigorously typing, delegating commands, responsibilities, who's in charge of what, what's failing, how do we resolve this, how do we get back into our winning ways, shut down and close out the map that we picked, that we are so confident on.
Back into the matchup we go. 14-11, gun round to come through. 15AvgGang's opportunity to seal the deal. Maybe not lock in the win on the map if they win this round. Still a bit of money in the bank for Bravado, but certainly take a big step closer. My God. It's actually an eco from 15AvgGang, Tools. I didn't realize that. They haven't invested yet, but they have got the opening kill.
Sleepy time for Slowy. Big nade. That's going to aid the MP9s. Doru feeling that one. He'll be left bleeding for the rest of the round. Map control slowly starting to be taken from Bravado. Lowers, long, all being contested so far. general protocol, relegated to 2, body towards cat and middle, just to clear out those hard angles that prove to be a threat from time to time.
Yeah, where did Bravado go from here, Tools? We breached that minute mark. They still have a bit of utility left remaining. Resources available. Got Vils right now up towards short, poking and prodding, trying to get some information. There are 3 players towards this part of the map right now, though, for the CT side. Spike spots them out. Problem is they don't really have the weapons to take these fights right now. This round lives and dies towards Long. Dottie gets himself into the act as well. That's an insane multi-kill from him, and he's pretty much locked in the round here for his team. Lambdacore won't seal the deal, but he's done more than enough damage.
Vils fought tooth and nail for that fight, netting him to 70 HP. The bomb's too far gone. I almost feel this round, this AK needs to go into the next round. He has the money to reinvest and drop for his other players, but he's almost praying for a miracle as Dottie finishes it off. And 15AvgGang are playing some impeccable Counter-Strike. The reactions are instant. As soon as Dottie jiggle peeked towards Long, the rotator was already there for them to double swing. So the communication is on point. The coordination is on point as they net themselves map point.
That's the saved AK that comes into huge effect at the end of the day there as well. 15-11, 4 chances here for 15AvgGang to finish off the map and take a 1-0 lead in this best of 5 grand final.
The craziest part about last round is, again, they had long control and cat control, Bravado. They just weren't able to capitalize on that small advantage. Disjointed, disorientated, tripping over their laces as they try claw in reach of that 15-round mark.
You can see they recognize the magnitude of this round. Lives on the line here on Dust 2 for Bravado. 15AvgGang not offering up anything either, forcing the T side to make the moves before they get any fights. Been happy to relinquish control towards Long, focusing towards short instead. But they actually have a great setup on the side of the map right now. Tools, Spike and locking down the site. They've got Ruskov as a responder and they've got short control.
Let's see. The first hurdle is crossing towards Long. No reaction yet, just from 15AvgGang. The Molotov to slow them down further. And I love the strategy employed, and Spike and wanted information. He gets taken out forward. Wipeout capitalized on his own. Daru adding 2 to the tally. And that's the round, unfortunately. Wipeout from the 6. Some breathing room for Bravado.
Yeah, a rare opportunity for them to catch their breath. Big kills coming through there from Wipeout. He was left to his own devices in middle. He gets 2 kills. And then a great job on the executes as well. Doru leading the charge, gets that frag above the flames. They live to fight for another day.
And you need to take notes. If it doesn't really get seen to the usual viewer, to the usual eye, what Bravado did there, they put smokes down towards Long and they cut noise, edging ever so closely. They walked all the way towards that site. It's that Molotov that came down. Spike needed to investigate what's going on there because they needed to react. We could look at the minimap, and every time Bravado makes a play, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So don't give them information to react off. And that's one of the key pieces I've been saying ever since yesterday. Control the pace, you control the reaction.
Yeah.
If they can implement that in different facets, because it can't always look the same, because 15AvgGang adapts extremely fast.
Yeah, that's true. I will say that I think Bravado worked that round really well, considering they hadn't been able to get any early opening kills and create easy space for themselves. So piecing together what they could was impressive. But Tools, this is another eco round, and we've seen how Bravado have slipped up against these before, and it might just happen again. Surely they don't lose the map in this fashion.
Not like this, Matt. Not like this.
2 versus 5 to try keep them alive. Surely this is a stretch too far. And look at the bomb.
Daru delivers a shot, but wants nothing of
Oh,
it.
no.
And Doddy,
Oh,
imagine
no.
playing a game where you just spawned, you just left, and the opposition has already rotated round. Doddy closes off the first map. Dust 2 in their favor. 16 to 11. 12, excuse me. Fantastic performance, and it makes sense as to why they picked up that map.
Fantastic display coming through from 15AvgGang. Clinical in those eco rounds. How were they able to get so many eco rounds. I think that was 3 on the map, if I'm not mistaken, at least 2.
Yep.
Don't go too far, guys, if you're leaving your seats. That was just the first map of the best of 5. A lot of action still to come through here. But time to break this one down.
Time to break it down. It was a little bit like ping pong, but with bullets the whole way through. However, I want to talk about that last round. What happened there? Bravado. Bravado.
Wasn't just the last round, though, Tools. Sam, I think they lost 3 anti-eco rounds in that map, at least 2. Sure, there were sometimes a few pieces, like a rifle had been saved or invested into, but for the most part, they had big advantages in those rounds, and they weren't able to make it work.
Yeah. Do you think it's just, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, Lighters, but a little bit of pace control. So when Bravado did control it, we saw them getting those rounds, and that's the ping pong I talk about, but it felt like it was a struggle for them sometimes to keep that going into the next round.
I saw Mango take an easy 50-50 fight. Well, easy 50-50 it's not really easy. But he was left on 7 HP, and he had the superior weapon. So that tells you that every duel that each individual has taken is the hardest duel they can take. So both teams are playing at the highest level individually. And we looked at that last round. The fact that they got caught sleeping on lowers kind of identifies and shows you that they aren't controlling the pace. If you aren't aware of a player pushing lowers, that means you're sleeping at the driving wheel.
Here's my concern. 15AvgGang, and you saw it there, calling a couple of attack pauses. We actually saw them lose their temper at one point. Like the coach was absolutely shouting at everyone at one point, and I think that the admins had to tell him to calm down. They're not happy with their performance, but they've just won that map. So if that's not them shooting at their best, what happens next?
Well, that's a good question. If there's still more to be seen here from 15AvgGang, then that's a little bit concerning for Bravado. But like I said yesterday, I think the winner's mentality is always striving to do better. Even when you've won the game, you don't want to rest on your laurels. They know Bravado are going to be having a hard conversation here in between the 2 maps. And if they just go through and say, oh yeah, good performance, guys, just go into the next map all lackadaisically, then they'll be coming off in a lower gear than Bravado. So it's good to see they're still being hard on themselves.
Next map is Vertigo. It is Bravado's pick. How does that go, Lighters?
Very technical map. It's hard to be puggy. It's hard to play with the explosiveness because those choke points can be controlled. It's just a molly and a smoke and a few flashbangs. So the style that 15AvgGang are playing on Dust 2 and Mirage, it can't be applied to a map like Vertigo or Nuke. That's why they vetoed Nuke. If they had it their way, they would have vetoed Vertigo and Nuke, but obviously they can't. So I think it's a saving grace for Bravado to pick up and even out the map pool 1-1.
So we think it's going to be a Bravado win on Vertigo?
Yeah, I actually do think it's going to be a Bravado win on Vertigo. I think they're going to reset themselves now coming into the second map of this final. I think that Vertigo is definitely a better strength for them here in this particular matchup than what Dust 2 is.
There we go. We are going to get back into the action in a little bit. Don't forget you are watching the Intel Africa Masters. It is a best of 5. And of course, it is North Africa up against South Africa. Bravado Gaming facing off against 15AvgGang. The best Counter-Strike in Africa going down. We're going to take a quick reset. And when we return, we'll be moving into map number 2.